Yeah, no, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for answers when it comes to 9/11, and finally, we can finally get them with this administration. But Tucker Carlson just did something on his network. He just had a former congressman, Kurt Weldon. Maybe some of you guys remember him. And he's speaking about the 9/11 Commission, and this is huge. And I also got a message from Dan Bongino that he is trying to reassure all of us, especially me and you who followed him, to be patient because arrests are coming, but things aren't as easy as they may seem or people may make them out to seem. He is exposing the corruption behind actually getting through and arresting people. So we've all been screaming for arrests. We've all been screaming for 9/11 investigation and the 9/11 files. Is this going to be a step in the right direction? Well, let's just go through this video right away, man. Let's go through this video because what he's saying in here is, and remember, Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump share a very close relationship. So this is not an accident. Take a listen.
Heroes that were being abused by defense intelligence. The Inspector General for the Pentagon files a whistleblower paper. I have a copy of it. I'll give it to you. His name is John Crane. He asked for protection because his bosses in DIA refused to allow him to become a whistleblower when he told them that he was told to lie to the Congress. He was told to misinform the Congress. I have that in writing, Tucker. The 9/11 Commission is a cover-up. 1,000% cover-up. Zelikow was the lead of the cover-up.
Philip Zelikow was the
Philip
chairman.
Zelikow. He was handpicked by Condoleezza Rice. When Tony Shaffer met Zelikow over in Afghanistan, because Zelikow took a team through to see if there were soldiers who had maybe encountered some information about 9/11 in advance. Tony Shaffer had been back deployed in Afghanistan at the time. So he told his commanding officer, I should talk to them because I was a part of a special team. He met with Zelikow. They exchanged business cards in Kabul. And Zelikow said to him, Lieutenant Colonel, you've got to see me as soon as you get back to America. It's very important. When Tony went back to the States, they had shut down his office, locked his office, secured all his files, and they then worked to destroy his personal reputation. They tried to destroy his career. I went to the floor and did a 1-hour special order, calling it a scandal bigger than Watergate. You can watch the footage. It's a
Yeah, no, this he's been around. He was a congressman during this time, and he's basically whistleblowing on Tucker Carlson's network that the 9/11 Commission is false and fake, and he's literally, yeah, it was a farce. And he said he has proof. This is going to be huge. I mean, I guess it could be. Oh, we've been waiting for answers again. We just want to see people be held accountable, and I think that that's what Pam Bondi and this administration should focus on. It's still just the beginning of this, but if we're getting this type of information, I'm pretty sure that. Okay, let's just keep listening.
Available online. I said, this is outrageous that the Defense Intelligence Agency is screwing a lieutenant colonel because he's telling the truth about what he was told to talk about when he came back from Afghanistan. Tony Shaffer then went to work in the reserves because he had been basically harassed by the regular army because of what Zelikow did.
Yeah, no, it gets even crazier. There's another clip here from all of this. Because remember, all of this pretty much ties into what's still going on in the Middle East today. You know, we have here during Tucker Carlson's latest episode with former Congressman Kurt Weldon, he goes over why Hillary Clinton had to murder Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi. That was crazy. Yeah, he's dropping bombs on here, man. This guy just woke up and chose to drop bombs as a former congressman. Tucker Carlson in shock.
But you think that the people who are hiding the truth about 9/11 are capable of murder?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I guess that would be obvious since 3,000 people were murdered that day.
Just like Libya. We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there. And I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to go over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted two things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like European standard gold, like the European economy. They wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the US and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous and it's wrong.
Yeah, but that
Wow. Well, this is much. A lot of people know this already, but we have a former congressman saying, because this guy lived it. He took Joe Biden to go meet him. He also mentioned the CIA here.
I think sounds right to me.
I mean, but we've allowed so many of our kids to be drawn into conflicts, to be killed. And these people doing this they've never served in any capacity in our country. They've never been in the military. They've never served on a fire ground. And it's outrageous that they think they can get away with this and sit back and make all this money. It's outrageous.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, no, look. And Tucker had look, it just feels like, are we doing this again? Right? Because there's talks about Iran having a nuclear weapon. Yeah, this is Tucker Carlson saying the same. Yeah, he was. Whatever you think of tariffs, it's clear that now is the worst possible time for the United States to participate in a military strike on Iran. We can't afford it. Thousands of Americans will die. We'd lose the war that follows. Nothing would be more destructive to our country, and yet we're closer than ever, thanks to unrelenting pressure from neocons. It's like we're back to 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004, where we were pushing to go and invade all these countries. I mean, this is what 9/11 still is. That was, yeah. So it does feel like we're like, Tucker Carlson is having these conversations because he feels like we're getting closer, and we really need Trump to avoid that at all. We need Trump. I voted for Trump to be anti-war. We don't need to be fighting in the Middle East anymore. At all. Not for Israel, not for anybody. Again, I'll say it out loud. I know a lot of people won't like it, but man, oh man, we do not need to be. We chose Trump for this very reason, to avoid war at all times. Anyways, now we're going to move on to Dan Bongino. He has a week 5 update, and he's ensuring us again, because Dan Bongino does what I'm doing right now. He's done it for years. Very credible individual in this field. Right? He did it. He had the biggest show before he decided to serve the taxpayer. He had the biggest show on Rumble. Former Secret Service, had the biggest show on Rumble, biggest podcast, and he's giving us an update because he is a deputy of the FBI. Right? So here we go. Thank you for following this account, he says. I'm traveling this week to some of your FBI field offices to gather information on necessary reforms and to hear from the workforce. The director and I have prioritized reforms while also making sure the work being done to ensure the safety of the homeland continues, right? He says, I posted last week, but I want to reiterate this. The director and I are working on a number of significant initiatives to ensure that the mistakes of the past never repeat, right? And that many of the open questions are answered. We fully understand that some of the actions and initiatives we've taken may not immediately appear to fit into the puzzle, and that leaves a vacuum at times filled by others. But accountability requires information, and people with information, I'll say again, says Dan Bongino, I'm not asking you to trust me, but I'm not asking you to trust me in the business. I'm in the show me results business. So he understands what's going on here. He understands that we want these arrests, we want people held accountable for their crimes and things that have happened in this country that have been bad for this country as a whole. There we go. He says, actions that aren't immediately visible do not equate to inaction, right? And I'll be candid here. It's tough not being able to respond to critical and laudatory comments, but that's what I signed up for. And as an employee of the taxpayer, as I mentioned before, I need to let the results speak for themselves on many of these matters because that's what you're paying me to do. I know you've been let down in the past. You're owed better, and we're going to produce it. God bless America and all of those who defend her. Dan Bongino. So again, a lot of people, I get a lot of people, this is what they want. This is what they're pushing for. But ladies and gentlemen, we're only in April. They just got into office less than a month ago, right? We got 9/11 files. We got congressmen blowing whistles. We got a lot of things that we're going to need patience for in the next 4 years, just like tariffs, just like negotiations, just like wars. Things take time. And of course, you see Democrats and even some conservatives at this point coming after people like Pam Bondi, which I've done too. Pam Bondi makes a lot of appearances on the news. I'm not the biggest fan of that, especially when the Epstein files flopped. So there's things that we can critique, of course, but patience is a virtue. So again, let me know what you guys think down below about all of this, about the information I just got for you. Decided to, break it down and then finish it up with this Dan Bongino update, because I do think that update is very important, especially when we are, I've played him on this channel many of times. And of course, I think that this is very important. So again, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.